Look at this. History, finance, motivation, business, self-improvement, even kids content. Completely different niches, but every single one is using the exact same AI Stickman animation. If you're planning to start another Stickman channel, don't. Not because it's bad, because everyone's doing it now. Viewers have already seen this style hundreds of times. It's not unique anymore, and it's getting more crowded every day. So I looked into what's actually working right now and found a style almost nobody's using yet. I've tested this for months. Yeah, it looks complicated at first, but it actually breaks down into a few steps that you can repeat every time, not some random trick that worked once. So that's basically what this video is about. Picking the right style, building the whole thing from scratch, figuring out why most creators mess up before they even hit upload, and how to automate all of it without the quality falling apart. Right now we are early, really early, and this is not for too long, so stick around because next I'm walking you through the exact step-by-step process of how this works. Alright, the first thing I do every time is open my master prompt PDF and copy the very first prompt on the page, paste it into Google Flow and generate 4 images. This step feels small, it's not. Everything downstream depends on what's happening in the next 30 seconds. This is the part people blow through way too fast, and honestly, it's the most important decision in the whole video. Whatever face comes out of this step becomes the entire channel. Every video, every thumbnail, every single scene from here forward gets built around this one character. So actually look at all 4. Don't just grab the first one that looks fine. If none of them land, regenerate. Nudge the prompt, the age, the style, the expression, until it feels like it belongs to your channel and not just some random face flow spat out. This isn't something you need to nail on the first try. Run it 10 times if you have to. And if you're just testing this workflow out for the first time, don't obsess over it. You can always come back and generate a new character later. There, that one. Yeah, that's her. That's the one. Here's the part worth sitting it for a second. The moment you lock the character in, the hardest creative decision in this entire process is already behind you. Everything from here is just execution. Over to ChatGPT, paste the second prompt. It only asks you for one thing. A video title, something like A Day in Life of a Teacher. Hit enter and it hands you 10 full scenes, a complete arc, morning to night. Read the scenes once, how beautifully it has described the whole day in an engaging way. Here's what actually makes this prompt clever though. Swap the title for A Day in the Life of a Doctor or a Billionaire. Same exact prompt, same underlying structure. A completely different story comes out every single time. That's the whole flexibility of this system sitting inside one line of text. Quick tip. Don't type something too vague for your title. The more specific it is, the sharper those 10 scenes turn out. And try to pick a profession with something visual actually happening in it. The more hands-on and the physical the day is, the easier every step after this becomes. Honestly, this one prompt alone saves me hours every week compared to outlining 10 scenes by hand. The story is written. Now we actually need to see it. Type next. ChatGPT turns each of those 10 scenes into its own image prompts one by one. Back to Google Flow. Upload your character. Drop in the prompt for scene 1. And here's where I do something a little different than you'd expect. I only generate 2 images. Not 4, not 8. Only 2. Why? Because past a certain points, more options don't make your decision easier, they make it even harder. You start second guessing a choice that was already good enough 2 versions ago. 2 gives you just enough to compare, and just enough to actually move on instead of stalling here for 20 minutes. Every extra image you generate is a minute you're not getting back, and across 10 scenes that ups to a faster than you think. Pick the stronger image, repeat for scene 2, 3, all the way through scene 10. Watch this. Frame by frame, the story is building itself and is already starting to look like something real. But right now, it's just small pictures, which means none of this actually matters yet, because pictures don't hold attention. Movement does. So type next again in the ChatGPT chat. Now ChatGPT writes an animation prompt for every single scene. Open Google Flow, switch the model over to VEO 3.1 and feed it each animation prompt against its matching scene at one time. 10 scenes, each one rendering for a stretch of time. The credits disappear faster than you'd expect, especially for the first time through before you know the rhythm of it. Quick heads up here, because this one catches people off guard. VEO burns through credit fast, and at some point, mid-scene, you're just going to run out. And that's not a mistake of your part. That is just the daily limit every account gets. When it happens, don't sit there waiting for it to reset. I just switch over a second Google account and pick up from the exact scene I stopped on. Takes 30 seconds. At this point, it's less of a workaround and more just the part of a process. Keep going until all the 10 scenes are animated, saving each clip the moment it lands. Somewhere you'll actually find it again. Okay, watch this one render. Yeah, that's actually what I needed. And that's it. That's the hardest, most technical stretch in this entire workflow. And it's done. 10 animated scenes, 1 consistent character, 1 complete story, actually moving now. But right now it's completely silent. And silence is where a lot of genuinely good videos quietly lose people, without anyone ever noticing why. Paste the third prompt from the PDF. It writes a music prompt built around the actual tone of your story, not just some generic up mood. Open Gemini, choose music generation, paste the prompt in, generate and download. That's genuinely it. You don't need Gemini specifically either. Any AI music tool that takes a text prompt works the same way here. This step takes almost 2 minutes. 1 prompt left, the one almost nobody talks about. Paste the final prompt from the PDF and it writes 1 short line of on-screen text for every scene. It's not narration and it's not an accessibility caption. It's 1 punchy line that gives someone a reason to keep watching. Keep it to 1 line per second though. So, everything exists now. Character, story, motion, music, text. Time to actually put it together. I will do this part on my phone, genuinely faster than sitting down at the desktop, and I can knock it out anywhere. Merge all the 10 clips in order, drop the soundtrack underneath, nudge the clips so the scene changes land on the beat. That one small adjustment is what makes a whole thing feel intentional instead of random. Add a transition between each scene, but keep it simple. Flashy transitions pull attention toward the edit instead of the story, and that's opposite of what we are going for here. For the opening, add a black overlay with a soft feathered edge, not a hard one, and place the title dead center, a day in the life of a teacher. A feathered edge dissolves into the scene underneath it. A hard edge just looks like a slide someone forgot to delete. Drop the on-screen text onto its matching scene and let the channel name sit quietly at the bottom of the entire way through, not shouting for attention, just there. Scrub back through the whole thing now, and it doesn't look like 10 AI separate clips stitched together anymore, so let's just watch it. Yeah, that's the one. Doesn't matter how many of these I have made, the part never gets old. Same 7 prompts every time, same steps every time, and a completely different shot comes out of the other end every single time. This is just my workflow, adapt it however you want. Now here's the thing, making this video is actually the easy part. The harder question is, how do you know this style can actually grow a channel? That's exactly what I wanted to answer next. So I found a YouTube channel making around $50,000 every single month, completely broke down its entire content system, and then recreated its workflow using just 3 AI tools, step by step. If you want to know how to turn this workflow into a real YouTube channel, instead of just another AI experiment, it's on your screen right now. Click on that video because that's where the workflow actually starts making sense.